Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech World, and today I have a tier list for you. This isn't mine, but I'll have it linked in the description. I just didn't want to take the time to make a tier list, so I just found somebody's off for YouTube. I'll have it linked in the description. But this is a tier list for all the Apple products that came out this year. So let's start with what we got first back in spring loaded or whatever it was. We got these green 13s. Now, obviously, the 13s came out last year, so just like the colors, I do like the green on the regular 13, but the Pros weren't, like, that great. It was just, like, another color. I think the Sierra Blue was, like, the best iPhone color of all time, personally. So that one will just go there. The next is the iPad Air 5, which the Air 4, that was good. Like, any one time you get a redesign for the 2018, with the 2018 iPad design, besides for the iPad 10, I think it's, like, pretty good. So I'm going to put this in B tier. But the iPad Air 4 was the one that got the new redesign. So this one was, like, just all it did was give it M1. So if iPad Air 4 was A tier, this one's B tier. Next, we had the Mac Studio. I'm sorry, this is out of order. And the Pro Display. Wrong thing. Oh, sorry. I just kind of covered it up. So, here it is. Why is everything so... Okay. So, we got these two things. I think the Mac Studio is S tier. No, let's put it A tier. Yeah, except for this is better than this. The Studio Display is, like, also C tier. I mean, it wasn't anything great. It was really pricey for what it is. And, but then we got, the iPhone, and the Studio Display. Those are A tiers. This one was actually really good. Like, the Ultra just got unlocked, like, its full potential. It didn't have its full potential before, but now it's finally unlocked with that. Next, we had the iPhone SE, right here, sorry. Yeah, that's perfect. I didn't even mean to put it there, but, oh, there isn't even an F tier. There. There isn't an E letter grade. There shouldn't be an E, grade anyway. So, I think, honestly, you could go there. I mean, in a few years when the price goes down, because I know as soon as they stop selling it, this is going to be like $100. That's what the SE2 is right now. So this will be a good one, hopefully one day. I'm sure it'll get a lot of software support and everything, but it's an F tier for me. Next, we had our MacBook Pros. This one's a D tier. It's a good MacBook if you want a touch bar and you need, like, some good specs. But if you're really trying to do a good workflow, like, with everything, you're going to want to spec it up to the actual Pros. But this MacBook really, like, you should just start getting used to not having a touch bar anyway. So, I don't know. It's a D tier. It's okay. Okay, sorry about that. We just talked about this MacBook Pro. Yeah, it's kind of mid. So, mid would be C tier. But it's D tier. Okay. The MacBook Pro, yeah, both of these had, like, M2 chip problems with, like, the SSD or whatever. But if I was to upgrade to either of these two, I'm sure the read and write speeds would be better than the MacBook I'm using right now. So I'm not even going to care about the fact that the M2 chip read and write speeds are a little bit slower. But as a design standpoint and how good it is as just like a $1,200 laptop, I think it is a B-tier product. It's, better than this, though. And when the redesign for the 2018 MacBook Air came out, it was $1,200, and then it slowly dropped down $100 each time. So I'm sure this will get cheaper. I'm sure this will be a $1,000 laptop again one day soon. Sorry, I just want to sort these in, like, the correct order. Okay, so the next thing on my list, I'm just going to do the AirPods. No, they started with the Apple Watch first, didn't they? I can't even tell what's the difference between these. I know this is the Ultra, but I don't know. We're going to say this is the SE right here. The SE, it got $20 cheaper. Yeah, the back of it was, like, plastic now, and the chip was better. So, honestly, I think that's a B tier. I mean, nobody's, like, really expecting the Apple Watch SE to be much. It's way better than the iPhone SE, that's for sure. So, I think that is a good B tier product. The Apple Watch Series 8, personally, is a D tier. Yeah, that's perfect. It didn't get a silicon upgrade. It didn't get, like, any upgrades, pretty much. It got car crash detection, which if you got the 14s, it already has that. And I also can't really speak for women on the whole body temperature sensing. So, personally, I think that's a D tier product. Next, we have AirPods Pro. I think that's our first S tier of the day. AirPods Pro 2, I use them every day. I love the noise cancellation, everything. It's like a perfect they upgraded everything. They upgraded the noise cancellation, the transparency. They have new volume controls. They have new charging things. It is like they upgraded it in every way possible. Speakers, everything. So that is an S tier product if I ever saw one. Oh, I forgot about the Apple Watch Ultra. Now, personally, I think that's most people are like, S tier, it's amazing, it's the best watch ever. I think it's an A tier. I think it's good, it has way better battery life, but I feel like it's a specific use case. All the tech YouTubers want to use it because of the battery life. I'm sure none of them are doing the hiking, the swimming, and all the things that watch is actually meant to be used for. So I think it's a very good, and it has a market, and I even like the design. In just the last week, I've seen 2 people wear the Apple Watch Ultra, and that was the only 2 times I've ever seen it. And so I'm just surprised that people are actually buying this. So yeah, I think it's a good product. It's just A tier. iPhone 14 and 14 Plus is probably C tier. I think it's better because Apple had a trend where like they have a budget model year and then a regular year. The iPhone XR was more about the budget model. The iPhone 11s were more about the pros. The iPhone 12s were more about the budget model. But then the 13s were about the pros. And so technically the 14s should have been about the budget model, but then they pushed too hard towards the pros regardless. Since the 13 Pros were so good, the 14 Pros were even still good. And they couldn't cannibalize those sales. So the 14s, I think they have a market, but it's going to be next year when the price goes down by $100. So I think it will be a good product, just not right now. It's got car crash detection and satellite connectivity, and both of those I have on a 14 Pro, and I haven't used either of them. So I think you might as well go for a 13 instead. Then these Pros, people are also saying they're A tier products and S tiers. I don't know, maybe I own the 14 Pro, but there's only a couple things I've actually noticed different than the test, and that's the battery life and the cameras. And obviously software will be like a future thing, and that's why I bought the phone, was because I knew those things would be improvement over my 10s. But honestly, coming from a 13 Pro and everything, that was not like an amazing upgrade. I haven't really cared about the dynamic island that much. So actually, I think that's an A tier product. Sorry. Next up, we have the Apple TV, which, okay, wait, if the iPhone 4, this is going to be an S tier, because they, since the 2021 was so good, the 2022 is actually even better, because the price dropped, the Siri remote got USB-C, and it's smaller, and like, so that's a good product. Obviously, I'm not going to buy it, but it is a good product. Like, I think I don't know, S tier, A tier, I'm sure you guys can probably agree it's one of those 2 categories. You're an F tier. I don't even know, I have to explain why. I mean, USB-C, but Lightning, Apple Gen 1. Laminated display, okay, I get if you want to keep costs low, but it's actually more pricier, so if they really shouldn't be laminated. Unless it was still $300, I would get that it's not laminated. But then they did that, and apparently like the Wi-Fi sucks, the brightness isn't good, the colors aren't good. So that's an F tier, obviously. And the keyboard, that's a whole nother thing I don't want to talk about in the camera placement. And then next we got the M2 iPad Pros, and honestly, the 2018 was good. And so that means any iPad after that is still good just because the 2018 was so good. And so this one is just going to be a C tier, because like the 14s aren't bad. Like, I mean, you could still do anything you really want on a phone, basically. So that's why I think it's like, this row is like a perfect, like, yeah, it's okay product, but like there's so many better options. So honestly, I think this is my, I think that is pretty good. I don't know. Do you guys agree, disagree? Please comment below. Anyway, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace out.